mechanisms put in place within this period that we are faced with this crisis, I plead with you to be humble enough to make use of them. If not for your sake, for the sake of your neighbor, your brother, your children, your parents. Having said that, on the letter that everybody have been talking about, yesterday my phone did not stop ringing. They called me from all over the world. Every news agency wanted to hear my opinion on that letter, on the authenticity or otherwise of that letter. And you know, just like I do, that authenticity of documents is drawn from the source from where it emanates. That document has laid, has circulated. The originality, the source is that for obvious reasons, manner of communication, form, structure, and all the rest of them. It's doubtful because we know how the president communicates to the parliament. Today, some of you who were in the chambers during plenary, I'm sure you did not see the speaker read any letter from the president. Usually the tradition that the speaker will announce there's a letter from the Mr. President and he will read it to the House. So attaching importance to that letter with regards to where it's coming from, I don't think it's something we have to do. But suffice that to categorically state that the purposive interpretation of part of the content of that letter is useful. It is raising the consciousness that there is a mechanism in place, there is an instrument in place. When you come to be safer, make use of it. Whether it came from Chief of Staff or not is irrelevant. Whether it was addressed to House of Representative or to Senate at this point is irrelevant. So that is why I have been pleading with members not to see it as an attempt to cast an aspersion on the integrity of the members of the House of Representatives. That letter is to showcase the efforts the executive is making to make sure that we feel safer and that we are safer. And we should interpret it in that line. And to that extent, for me, the attention it has raised, the trending element of it, has showcased to Nigerians that there is a screening machine at the airport. Everybody should do what? Make use of it. Now, the other issue you raised was whether what the government is doing at the moment is enough. It may be adequate. It may not be sufficient.
So let me interject you, sir.
Now, before you interject me, listen to what I said. It may be adequate considering our situation, but it may not be sufficient considering our population. What is our situation? The global economy has changed. All projections have failed. All economic calculations have failed. All because of coronavirus. We benchmark on 52 or thereabouts, 57, sorry, per barrel when we did our budget projection. Today, what is the price of crude? Talking about being below 30. So how do you now fulfill the expectation of that particular budget? Your guess is as good as mine that more than 50% of what we projected is not there. And knowing that crude oil is our major source of revenue. So it calls for thinking out of the box, outside the box. It calls for re-strategizing, which I believe, and I have seen the executive is doing. This era is not the era of calling the executive names when they are making effort. This Ninth Assembly will not do it. We will only raise alarm when they are not doing enough. Look at immediately the executives call for a meeting. And CBN pumped 1 trillion naira into circulation. Moratorium was given. Another 100 billion to save businesses, to give a little bit of cushion. On our part, today we pass a bill known as Emergency Economic Stimulus Bill 2020 to empower the executive to do more by granting a moratorium to those who are making use of the Federal Mortgage Bank facilities. So you won't be thinking about how you will pay your mortgage, and you will not lose your house by the time coronavirus has come and gone. We are a people-oriented parliament. In that bill as well is a provision that will enable importers of certain essential goods to enjoy free import duty, especially as it concerns health. The health kits, health equipment, not the rest of them. Like I told you, it may be adequate, but not sufficient. We are trying to bring in the sufficiency element, how to make the service they are providing. And they cannot operate in isolation of enabling act. That was why we suspended the research we wanted to go into 2 weeks ago, to be able to fine-tune what we will leave for Nigerians before going on recess. And that we achieved today through this bill. So the benefit of the bill as well is to save owners of company the tax that they are paying, especially payee, where they will have access to 50% or whatever they pay within this period. What is the idea behind it? The idea behind it is to ensure that employees will not lose their job, because what management decisions are going to come out now will be, considering coronavirus, we are now laying off 100 persons from our work because we cannot continue paying and pay this, that. So this law we are bringing is to be able to save jobs, save your houses, bring in more equipment, especially as it concerns health, to enable us. Going forward as well, you know there is shortage of isolation centers. We moved a motion today, and that motion was to convert most of these schools, secondary schools. You recall that students have been called back home, stay at home, so the schools are vacant. Instead of constructing new ones, all those schools, we moved the motion today that they should be used as isolation centers. In the motion also was a mandate given to the governors and the president to make sure that isolation centers will spring up immediately in all the states of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So this is to show how committed the House is in supporting the executive towards achieving their aim, which is what? Cushioning the impact of the coronavirus, economic impact, as well as the health impact.
So if I may come in, sir, I think
yes,
there's one salient issue that we need to look at. The media within the last 24 hours was awash with reports that certain categories of lawmakers went on a foreign trip. And the public is worried that as learned, as exposed as they are supposed to have isolated themselves. What is the position now, sir?
of course, anybody coming from the countries that have been listed. You know, the job of the House of Representatives takes them out of the country once in a while For example, if the Committee on Foreign Affairs want to go and oversight the activities of Nigerian embassy in New York, you won't tell him not to go and do it, especially if he's there before this outbreak started getting to this level. But if he's coming back from there, he has to obey the health policies that is now in place, which have been put in place to curtail the spreading of this virus. And I'm yet to see House of Rep members who will not comply with such directives. You know, this speculation that they were passing through, they are not screening. We have asked for video footage because at the airport you have the cameras, video cameras. The airlines have manifests. It is traceable. Why don't you exhibit the evidence that actually that members were the ones who saw the screen mentions and refused to make use of them? And the question becomes, why did you allow them to pass through immigration? Because I passed through the screening mention myself. I passed through it, and the place they positioned it was very good. I don't know if they've shifted. You pass through it before you meet the immigration. So there is no way for you to get to the immigration if you have not passed through it. And if you pass through it if you pass without passing through it, those people operating have every right to tell the immigration to turn you back to go and pass through it. And the videos, the cameras are there. So if you now insist you're not going to pass through it, the immigration and other paramilitary bodies there, agencies, security agencies, have every right to move you to a particular place where you will be tested, even if it is by force, because that is the current policy that is in the country. So I don't want to believe any member of House of Rep did that because they are honorable members. But if there is an evidence, because in law we say he that alleges must prove. If there's an evidence to that effect, let them showcase that evidence. But until then, they should stop spreading this fake news.
Okay, Honorable.
Yes.
If we look at the National Assembly's response to the pandemic, aren't you worried that up to this moment, the Parliament has not called for the state of emergency, given the fact that this coronavirus has got into what they call pandemic now? Do you think the National Assembly or the members or the lawmakers are actually on top of their toes to make the executive to understand that this thing ought to be tackled headlong?
All the things, all the steps I've explained to you shows that we are making steps towards the right direction. But it is one step at a time. We are watching the number. Before you declare it an emergency and all the rest of them, we are watching the number. And I'm sure the NCDC, and remember, the Presidential Task Force on coronavirus was set up by the President. Immediately this started spreading, which was also a step in the right direction. I am sure the Ministry of Health, the NCDC, the Presidential Task Force are made up of credible members, intelligent members. One of them is the SGF that I respect so much. Intelligent gentlemen who will see the need for the declaration of a state of emergency if we get there. Whether the National Assembly will call the President to do that at the appropriate time or not, yes, we will. If we find that it is time now to, to put more force, we will do that. But you can see the step they are taking. We propose for them to shut down airlines, coming into the country. They did not say no. You can see what the governors are doing. One of them is Airfy. I listened to his, address to his people. Very intelligent expression of a determined leader to save his people. And that is being, look at what is happening in Lagos. So, as all these state governors take steps towards making people stay at home, and we attack this, we will see how the corona spread goes. I'm telling you that this government is not an insensitive government. President Buhari will not refuse to call for emergency if the need arises. And so far, the Minister of Health is doing a good job in addressing the nation from time to time. We know there has been this argument, should the president address? Yes, he will address once in a while, but actually the expert that has been charged with that responsibility, and who also supposed to also act in place of the president, is the Minister of Health. It falls under the purview of his office to let Nigerians know daily or weekly what is happening with the virus. And so far they are doing what they are supposed to do. I am confident that we will win as long as people isolate, people keep the social distance. It's just like you're standing now, you're not keeping it. You're too close to one another because you're not taking it serious. The distance between you and him is supposed to be at least 3 meters. You're not maintaining it. See, this is the kind of seriousness that we want people to take. Don't forget yourself. Don't feel, no, I'm immune to it. No. Don't think it's a virus meant for the rich or meant for this. It affects everybody. It could come from you because you touch this phone and I'm touching this phone and it will come to me. But that is why I carry my sanitizer. No, but that's true. I carry my sanitizer so that no careless. At every time you see me, I'm carrying my sanitizer. So I encourage all of you, carry your sanitizer. You never know where this will come from. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes. My name is Rep. Benjamin Okezie Kalu. I am the member representing Nigerians, but starting from Bende Federal Constituency. I'm from Abia State, and by the grace of God, I am the spokesperson of the House of Representatives. Thank you.
Thank you.